And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals and market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. Trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Market Recap. Still Tuesday, April the 5th. I'm John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Well, another trading day, somewhat past us. Lots of news affecting the markets. Things traders focused on throughout the day today. The talking Feds had a few things to say. Most importantly, Brainerd signaled a speedy Fed tightening and a quick balance sheet reduction at a rapid rate. Tell me that didn't send a chill over some of the stocks. We saw a late spike to the upside yesterday. We opened below it. Technically and fundamentally, I think these stocks were ready to head back to the downside a little bit today. The U.S. dollar hits a new 52-week high. Tesla drops the 5% that it added yesterday. Elon Musk is apparently going to be joining Twitter's board of directors, promising significant improvements. And looks like student loan debtors are going to get another break all the way through August. I believe they were supposed to start paying again in May, pushed off again now until August. So just kind of looking at what happened in the markets here. Crude oil, pretty low volume day today. Still waiting for the API numbers in the EIA tomorrow. But we did succeed in a value area special situation play today. We're going to see that as soon as we look at the charts. E-mini, S&Ps, and the Nasdaq. We talked this morning about how the rally yesterday seemed to be a little bit hollow. We did end up with a late spike. We opened today below the late spike. We looked higher. That auction failed, and we drove lower the better part of the day. Of course, Brainerd had something to do with that as well. Gold, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Nowhere to go. We did achieve contacting two visuals. The euro, with the dollar putting in new 52 weeks highs, the euro, it appears to be showing signs of acceptance below weekly kickoff low. Again, we're going to see that in the charts in a few minutes. Tenure, as discussed, we broke out of a bear flag, and when Brainerd started speaking, apparently that was enough to really try and push this market all the way down to and through the weekly kickoff low. A pretty substantial move to the downside there. And now the natural gas, we've been seeing a healthy upside auction. That healthy upside auction has broken out above the weekly kickoff high on pretty substantial volume. We'll see how the open interest is tomorrow, but it does look like that natural gas auction remains healthy. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome here on the Market Recap. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified when we do go live. Got to say good afternoon to everyone. Tachyon, first one in the room. You win the prize. Scott saw, and hopefully you conquered. Aaron, good to see you. Bill, chilling with Dylan. Denise, I got your question. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at group coaching, which here is the link to register. I'm going to put it in the chat here. 1 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be getting together and asking and answering questions about trading. Vince, good to see you, my friend. Frederico, Saltbones, good to see you. Things are going well. Thank you very much. Hopefully things are going well for you. Also, Dan, phenomenal trading day. Played the ES short side, early morning, midday, long side bounce. Even on a big down day, the Nasdaq provided multiple 50 to 80 point rotations on the long side. Yeah, that was a pretty good bounce there at some point during the day, right? Good afternoon, George. Chris, I got the dogs moosing me for pets here. Glitter Sandwich, good morning, everyone. Dan, one of the best trading days of the year today. Good, Dan. Glad to know that. Glad to hear that. Also played the S short, but got scared a few times. It's always scary, isn't it? But I find that the scarier the trade, the better off it usually ends up. Multiple rotation signals executed today. Good job, Kyle. Dan, wasn't easy. Had to have conviction in your reasons and stick with it. There again is the link for group coaching tomorrow. And Kyle, Dan Emmons, which I wish I was around to trade more today. Slow markets kill me. Well, we've got some action going on, that's for sure. Tomorrow is the FOMC meeting. It comes out at 1 o'clock tomorrow, right at the same time as group coaching. So group coaching, it's going to start about 1:05 tomorrow. Give everybody a chance to watch the fireworks of the FOMC minutes tomorrow, if there are any. I know we were all going to be focusing on the verbiage, the vocabulary that they use tomorrow. Of course, I can put the link in for Make Hogue Money. That's going to be on Thursday right after the forecast. Here's the link for Make Hogue Money. My pleasure. Yeah, yep, got my 500 profit today. Nice job, Tacky on. Was able to catch a few shorts, and yes, sounds like Dan was the conqueror today. Well, it's any positive day is a good day. And speaking of Make Hogue Money, we had one winning trade, one losing trade. We made 10 points in the S&Ps on the long side, believe it or not. We did take I think we looked for a short at one point during the session that got taken out for half of our profit. So we made about 250 today. We thought about putting in some orders or some possible things that might have been triggered today, and I'm really wishing that we did, because I think we would have had a much better day. But maybe Thursday we'll see something that we're going to set up for, and we'll see how that plays out throughout the day. But all in all, a successful day. You made Hogue money. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So, all right, let's jump into the charts here, and we'll let everybody get onto their research, their post-trading day research. Hello, George. All my hindsight trades worked. Yeah, hindsight's that way, isn't it? All right, let's start with the crude oil this afternoon. Let's see what happened there. All right, so this is the daily. We have been volleying back and forth in this pennant, triangle, whatever you want to call it, formation. We looked at yesterday. We added a whole bunch of open interest yesterday. It's going to be interesting to see if we added open interest today. This morning, we were looking at the market opening with a gap and the potential for a value area special situation play, which is exactly what happened. Let's look at the 30. So we had overnight inventory, which was pretty much long. That overnight inventory got one little push before the open, couldn't take out the overnight high. Sellers came in and basically ruled the day. When we open with a gap, value area special situation. Some people call it the 80% play. We open with a gap. When we close the gap, when we start to see indications of acceptance inside the previous day's area of value, that sets forth, I think, the value area special situation. So we open out of range, out of value, acceptance in value. There's a high probability of a move to the other extreme of the previous day's value. at some point during the session. Now, today, we had a couple of opportunities to try and take advantage of this. When we finally accepted inside value, it was a pretty swift move to the low of value. The market gave us another opportunity when it came back up to the high of yesterday's value to see if we could have another swing at it, which we did. And boy, did we. We continued this move to the downside. This week, we started the week here at, where is that? 17. So we started this week on the open 48, or excuse me, 98.39. We're still a little above that, but certainly looking back towards this naked point of control. We didn't have any visuals really, except for the fact that we did come and close this gap, but again, after regular trading hours. It'll be interesting to see how this market plays out tomorrow. It's always interesting. It's the thing about these markets. We never know the outcome. We never know the answer. We hypothesize, and we look for opportunities to profit from price movement. So we had a potential bull flag here. We even had a potential breakout of that bull flag. Weekly kickoff high was a pretty big barrier for continuation to the upside. We added 1,700 in open interest yesterday, which we were viewing as relatively hollow. I wanted to see a breakout with some really good open interest and some higher volume. Volume was terrible yesterday, open interest only adding 1,700, leading us to believe that that rally to the upside yesterday was somewhat hollow. We did leave a late spike at the high of the session yesterday. Okay, here's 1, 2, 3 points of contact. We looked up at that point. There was those points of contact here today, and we rejected. So we have the late spike. We opened below the late spike. That's one nuance that says the market is not accepting higher pricing. Okay, the market took a look just over the overnight high, could not find new business up there, pretty swiftly rejected from that area, and basically traded down to the point of the value area low in the first hour of trade. We got a nice little pullback off that. We waffled, another nice little pullback off that. I'm not sure what time it was that Brainerd spoke, but we see that the market has capitulated to the downside. Now, we checked a naked point of control to the upside. We checked a naked point of control to the downside. As a matter of fact, we checked another one. We just came down and checked this one. So we're taking care of business in this area. Some sort of change is going to be likely. If we can take out the high of this bull flag, get past weekly kickoff high, we've got space above. We've got lots of also weak structure down below. We got naked points of control, weekly kickoff low down below that. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm going to take these out. I don't know what that is. So we got a spammer here with us, folks. Not quite sure what all that means, but all right. Let's go on to the Nasdaq. Didn't really get much of a look at Nasdaq today. I was really focused on the S&P. So weekly kickoff high still resistant. Another pullback. We saw the low volume on the move to the upside yesterday. A very small change in open interest. As a matter of fact, only losing about 150 in open interest yesterday. And again, indicating that there is a potential hollow rally yesterday. Here's the 30. Again, we had the late spike. We opened below the late spike, couldn't even get to the base of the late spike, relatively close. Where was the base of that spike? 15,149. So we couldn't even get to the base of the late spike. Boy, this one was signaled a lot stronger than the S&Ps was. Couldn't get to the base of the late spike. We find that the market is accepting lower pricing and the market auctions in that direction the entire session. Didn't take out any naked points of control except for yesterday's. We kind of took out this one early before the open, but the market again rejecting weekly kickoff high and rejecting the late spike above that level yesterday. Gold, real drag, I think, pretty much. Just up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down. There's very range-bound activity, very short time frame controlled activity. I was looking at that 1942 as somewhat of a pivotal level today. We did bash down through it at some point, but never really accepted. The market opens, takes out this visual up here, this naked point of control. We'll end that one there. And then the market just turns. You know, where was the short time frame level with which to look for the opportunity? Well, the naked point of control, value high, we didn't quite get there. An unchecked value high here. Really just kind of taking the market right back to this pivotal level that I've been watching, 1924. We're going to close above it. All right. For the euro, with the dollar at 52-week highs, look what happens. There's an opportunity for us to look for a long down here near that weekly kickoff low that really offered a cheap loss, a cheap risk on that trade. Adding 2,100 in open interest yesterday, volume still not great to the downside. I think we still got some work to do before we can see some real continuation to the downside here. But step one is complete. We've closed below that weekly kickoff level. Again, we're going to see if we added a whole bunch of open interest to the sell side here, we may see some continuation to the downside. But again, the volume in this move to the downside was not all that tremendous. Here's the 10-year. So many reasons this market broke today, not to mention the technical reason. Bull bear flag, we broke out below it last night. We were looking for continuation for a test of weekly kickoff low, which is pretty much exactly what we got. You can be assured that our talking Feds today helped move this along. Here's the 30-minute chart. So the overnight move to the downside, overnight shorts, the market opens, takes us right to this lower trend line of the bear flag, finds resistance and tanks, closing below weekly kickoff low. It's going to be it's not like every day isn't fascinating in trading. Tomorrow is, I think, going to be one of those for the month, one of those interesting days. Here's the natural gas. We've been adding open interest. Volume overall has been strong. It was strong again today. If we added more open interest, there's still more money coming into the long side. Take a look at the 30, how this played out today. So opening above, driving higher. maybe getting a little bit too long and for our own good, coming off and finding some balance to even out inventory. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, you can bet somebody was getting hurt in those treasuries today. Not us. We saw what was coming. It's all about the context and structure. All right, so what are we looking at tomorrow? Well, it's not much. We do have one talking Fed before the minutes come out. We have EIA petroleum status report, which we're waiting for the API numbers to come out now. And then the FOMC minutes tomorrow. I think a lot of us have been waiting for that, of course. What happened in this day in history? Winston Churchill retires as Prime Minister of Great Britain today in 1955. 1614, Pocahontas marries John Rolfe. 1792, Washington exercises the first presidential veto. 1976, Howard Hughes passed away today. In 1859, Darwin sends the first 3 chapters of The Origin of the Species to his publisher. 1984, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar breaks the NBA all-time scoring record on this date. And in this day in music, let's see here. 1935, Peter Grant, the manager of Led Zeppelin, was born. Died in 1995 at age 60. He was a real tough guy. He secured 90% of the gate money for the band. That was pretty much unheard of. 1962, on this day, the Beatles performed at the Cavern Club in Liverpool as part of a special night presented by the Beatles fan club. 1975, Minnie Riperton went to number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with the Stevie Wonder song "Lovin' You." If you guys remember, she had that real high note in that song. 1979, Duran Duran made their live debut at the Lecture Theatre in Birmingham. Uh, 1994 on this day is the day Kurt Cobain died. 1973, today is Pharrell Williams' birthday. Yeah, that's about enough. That's about enough of that. I'm ready for a good rest after today. Down days always seem to exhaust me more than the up days. Anybody ever notice that? Is there a particular direction that the market goes that makes you more tired? It's always the down days for me. Remember in 1984, I was a clerk in the S&P pit. I wasn't even at risk. During the crash, we couldn't go anywhere. We stayed on the floor till like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock that night. It was a Friday when it started, trying to make sure all the trades were matching up and that we were going to be okay. And we had to come in on Saturday morning for out trades and try and iron out all those out trades. And Sunday, I think we had off, but we had to be on the floor at like 3 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, to do out trades. And I don't think I slept the whole weekend, and I wasn't even at risk. But the guys I was working for were certainly at risk. Odd trades are when on the trading floor you'd be standing in a pit with a bunch of people, and if I sold you one across the pit and I wrote it down that I sold you one, but you didn't see me, or you saw me but I traded with the guy next to you and you thought that I had sold you that one, later on if you find out that trade doesn't match up, somebody is either going to make or lose the difference in the other side of that out trade. So yeah, Dan, you know Ben, huh? Yeah, listening to Ben Lichtenstein would keep me awake, trying to pick out some nuances between some locals faking excitement. Yeah, Dan was he had a nice business on the floor. He was just talking about who was doing what, and to everybody that was trading from home. Dan's a good guy, or Ben's a good guy. I haven't talked to him in quite a while, but he's working with TD Ameritrade. He's got a show going on over there at TD Ameritrade. I'm not sure if it's public or not, but he's a good guy. You know Ben. You've been at this a while, huh, Dan? That was when I was in the S&P pit. All right. Well, let's call this a recap. Looking forward to tomorrow again. Group coaching. FOMC numbers, another challenging trading day. Get some good rest tonight. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Stay kind, and do your homework. Get your hypotheses ready for what may occur tomorrow. See what happens on the open. See at the market forecast. Let's make some money. Keep praying for peace, ladies and gentlemen. Bless you all. Have a great day.